Thanks for joining us on Coast to Coast Pest Talk.
We do one thing. That's it. We do pest control.
That's right.
That's it.
All right. Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in to Coast Pest Talk. I'm your host, Gabe with Pest Patrol, joined here by Andy with Permatech Pest Management from Syracuse, New York.
Right on.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Welcome to Season 2.
There we go.
Official Season 2.
In the fall now.
Yep. We're starting a new school year, new fall time. Pretty excited. We got a fun discussion today. Is this just an article from PMP? Is that what this is?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. It was. I think it was like a digital article on their website or something like that. And probably we'll see something in the print magazine, I would think, following up on this. But I came across this last week, and it's a survey that they did on attitudes towards mergers and acquisitions and that kind of thing. And it really struck me because a lot of this was completely counterintuitive for me. When I saw the results, I couldn't help. I felt like I was being like gaslighted a little bit. Like, am I crazy? I think I might be nuts.
Are you implying that there may be a sponsor to this?
I don't know. No. Although that is a good point, because they didn't have the demographic information. So I'm not sure who this was that responded. So I mean, I think we can make a couple assumptions. One, it would be people that read PMP magazine. And
Right.
If you don't get Pest Management Professional Magazine and you're in the industry, you definitely should. I think it's a free subscription. I don't know.
Yep. Maybe
we're giving away magazines now for the okay, there you go. All right. I'm sure you go to their website and you could probably get that. But so it'd be people that read that and then people that responded to the survey. So
right.
it probably it's not like a randomized selection of people in the industry. It's self-selected.
So it probably skews slightly larger companies because
Probably.
your one man in a truck's probably not going to take the time to respond to that generally.
Yeah, right. So we have, we have to take some of these numbers, I think, with a little bit of understanding of, that demographic.
Certainly.
Information.
But even with that, I think there's a lot of really interesting data here.
Yeah, for sure. So let's just start right off and go down some of these. I'm going to start at the top. There's actually 4 or 5 of them that were really like the real nut for me that I was like, oh, wow. The first one they had was about whether or not a business is for sale. Is any business for sale? No matter it's just a matter of price.
Right.
So I think for you, Gabe, what's your answer to that? Separate from this article, like what do you think?
We talking about like my business, or
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I would agree. Most businesses are for sale if you pay them enough. I would say Pest Patrol is not for sale, and you are welcome to send me offers and see the response that you get.
Okay. That is the most threatening invitation for offers I've ever heard. See what you get. Oh my God. So in this, they have this broken out 3 years. They did this in 2017, 2020, and 2023.
Yep.
And it looks like it more people are thinking, every business is for sale. Just name the price and we'll move that puppy.
That's right.
Yeah. Which didn't really surprise me that much. This one I was like, a lot of people are gonna feel that way. The next one that came up on here, and this is the one that just killed me, and this led me to I actually made sort of like a social media post that then was very quickly deleted. So if you're one of the 40 or 50 people that was up at 3 a.m. when this got posted, you may have seen my rant on LinkedIn about this, but it was quickly eliminated. So this one is better service. So can merging with a larger pest management provider help an acquired business improve service and customer retention? 2017, 17% of people said, yes, merging with a larger provider is going to help me with customer service and retention. Today, that's 31%. So that pretty much doubled the number of people that think that, hey, the bigger provider is I'm extrapolating from this because this is telling me you think the bigger service provider is providing better service and has better customer retention than you. That's
Right.
I mean, am I reading that wrong? That's kind of how I'm seeing that.
Yeah, no, that's certainly right. That's certainly correct. And it's a decent. You have a 13% swing, basically 13-14% swing. 14. I can do math.
Yeah.
From basically from no to yes there over six years.
Yeah. That's a big move.
Yeah, that's huge. Okay, but the thing that really got me about that is up at the top of that page, at least of the printout, which I think it's the same as yours.
Yep.
They ask a question that goes to a report that's like later towards the end.
Yeah.
And they say, can merging with a larger pest management provider help an acquired business improve career opportunities and employee retention? Which we should talk about anyways, because
Yep.
I think that there's a lot there. 66% of respondents agreed that it would increase career opportunities and employee retention. So you have this simultaneous 66% of these respondees think that it will be better for both the employees' retention and career opportunities, and 69% of people say that it's going to be a decrease in service quality. That's an interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So you're looking at the inverse on better service. So if almost 70% of people said no, it's not going to be better service quality and customer retention, but it doesn't jive with the flip side. So you think you're going to have better employee retention, and opportunities.
They're going to
for
be
employees.
way more satisfied with working at that big company, even though the service quality is going to go down.
That's okay. That's a way I didn't look at those two combined like that. That's an interesting thought. Now, does that hold with what your experience has been like in the real world when you see, company X gets acquired? Do you think that company X then has better service quality and better employee retention?
Not generally, not when the person doing the acquiring is a large conglomerate national brand, which it usually is. I would say no. I would say, though, I've been a part of a local regional brand acquiring a very small mom and pop. And in that case, I think you did see that where you were able to kind of raise the bar. But then our regional one got acquired by a national brand and it went the other way. So
Okay. So with employee retention, is it something that like when these larger acquirers come in and grab a company, do you tend to see more employees available? Do you think that there's attrition off of there than there was before that? Like when it was when the company was independent?
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm like, I feel like anybody that's in the industry that is ever hiring or that just has eyes or that doesn't have any eyes and just has a brain
Oh no.
would it just is common sense. Of course you're going to have more attrition in that type of situation.
Yeah. So 66% of pest control operators disagree with you then. According to this survey, 66% of them saying no, they're going to have better retention. They're not going to lose employees in that that transition.
Yeah, and I think there's an interesting what's it called where you take two things and you equate them?
Yes.
Equivocation?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, there's an interesting thing how they're tying employee career opportunities and employee retention together.
Right.
I think there's a very natural correlation when you look at the national brands and you say, Of course, there's lateral movement up the chain of command, so there's career opportunities naturally. And if you're a 3-man, 4-man, 5-man team, you don't have a bunch of management positions. You don't have they can't go into your marketing department. Like, you don't have a marketing,
Yeah. Okay, so you're saying then that tying these two things that are very separate together maybe skews the survey results. So you tie employee retention should be one thing, and then career opportunities should be a totally separate thing.
Yeah, and I don't think they're like completely unrelated, but I think they're separate enough that when I read that, I kind of read, are your employees going to have more opportunities to continue growing their skills and their leadership and their management if they want to? And I think of course they will, if you're comparing that to a tiny guy. Are they going to stick around and love their work and feel super fulfilled? I don't really think so.
So then in that case, if you get faced with a survey question that ties those two dissimilar and competing elements together, do you say no or do you say yes? Like, because one's positive, one's negative, right? One, the attrition, employee retention goes down, employee opportunities went up. So faced with that question with those two different things tied together, is that why you think that maybe 66% of people see employee opportunities first? They answer it, check the box, yes, I see more opportunities, and disregarded the and retention. Because to me, you have to have both of those have to be a positive, not positive versus good versus bad, but like both of them got to be in the they're going to be better retention, better employee opportunities. Because if one of them is no, then the answer is no.
Right.
To me.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. I think I would probably answer that no, but I think it could have been, the question itself could have been worded more helpfully.
Sure. Okay. Because my experience has been, man, when an acquisition happens, that is a volatile time, and so some of these things, the customer, and we might be seeing this with the other one, with the better service one, an acquired business, improved service, and customer retention. Some people may see that and be like, well, you know what? The bigger operation can improve service because they have capabilities I don't have. But then the customer retention, again, I don't know that anybody sees a large acquirer come in, buy a smaller independent, and doesn't think, if they're a neighboring company to me in my market, the first thing I think is, well, this is great. Well, there'll be a whole bunch of accounts that come rolling off of that.
That's right.
There's going to be employees that come rolling off of that. So I feel like in both these cases, the service level and the employee issue, that retention side probably needs to be split out into its own survey question. It's completely separate.
And anyone that's done that's the hard thing with this is, you're like, anybody that's done any sort of acquisition at all, and even just thinking, say you've never done any acquisition and you just are business minded and you're considering acquiring something, what's one of the first things you think about is, how many customers are going to stay when I take over? And 100%. All the big acquisition companies, they all have models for, we know we're going to lose 20%.
10, yep.
Wow.
Exactly. Something
High
like
five.
that. Yeah, there you go.
We know we're going to lose 20% of our customers.
Right.
So to be like, oh yeah, the retention's going to be better, everyone knows it's not, including the people acquiring.
Yeah, right. Now that's an interesting aside to this. I wonder if the companies that tend towards acquisition would answer these questions differently. I wonder if you ask them, hey, do you see employee retention improve post acquisition versus pre acquisition in a company, or is the service, as customer retention better post acquisition or pre acquisition? It'd be an interesting thing, because I'm assuming these are independent companies that answered the survey, that are people with small to medium sized pest control companies that are independent. Okay.
Yeah, and another thing, just on that same vein, I think, to be fair, to give some level of credit to maybe the bigger conglomerates and acquisition companies. Sometimes in small organizations, you have people that shouldn't stay on board, that end up staying on board for a long time, because you don't have good processes in place, or you can't you're just too small. It's too much of a risk, for you or whatever in your mind. So when the big guys come in and they take over, I think there is a natural weeding out that will occur of those types as well, which is often a positive thing. So attrition's not always, movement's not always bad in terms of employment.
Sure. So it's like a lot harder for the operation that has 7, 8, 10 employees to get rid of Johnny, even though he's an underperformer because we like Johnny or something like that. Yeah. Yep. Okay. And no offense to anyone named John out there.
Johnny just unsubscribed from our YouTube channel.
There's going to be a fire rant now on our LinkedIn. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now this one was funny to me because this went in the other direction and I still disagreed with it. The bigger brand and budget. Yeah, I know. This is why I felt like I was nuts when I was reading this. I was like, I don't agree with any of these.
I know.
So can merging with a larger pest management provider help an acquired business improve marketing with the power of a bigger brand and budget? Okay, so how has this gone down? How have fewer people said, no, a bigger brand and budget is not going to help me with marketing. We're not going to have better marketing. Yes, you are. Oh my God. I don't understand it. I mean, it's not a huge thing. It went from 81% of people said that a bigger brand coming in with more money for marketing is going to help with our marketing, is going to brand us better. And today it's 76%, but it went in the wrong direction. Like there is, in no universe does a bigger brand come in with national advertising money and have worse brand and market penetration than I do, who has no budget for marketing, like hardly anything, right? Am I insane on this? You gotta clear this up for me.
Okay. Well, again, just call me a nitpicker here with these questions, but I do think there's a difference between having a huge brand and having a lot of money, because your brand might be really big and just terrible.
Okay.
But you have a lot of money to throw behind it. So it's not like...
So you feel like the brand and the budget are, again, two different items that need to be separated out. We need to have... Will it help will a bigger brand help me? And will I have a bigger budget? Yes, you'll absolutely have a bigger budget. Right? I mean,
yes, of course.
There's no question. I mean, even if your operating ratios, you're spending whatever 10% on marketing a year, whatever the thing is, well, 10% of $1 billion is a heck of a lot. 10% of $1 million. So you're definitely going to have a bigger budget for branding.
Yeah.
But you're saying the brand itself, you might have a really strong local independent company that has a really good brand, and they're thinking, hey, company X comes in and buys us, it's not going to help our brand. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Yeah, precisely. Okay. And I mean, how the question is worded specifically with like, will this improve marketing? And so I think we all agree that, if in general, if you have more money, then that is going to improve your marketing and just processes and procedures. Most of us small guys, like I have a really small local SEO company that does most of my like online paid ads and stuff. Sure. They're not some massive agency, right? Yeah. So I know I'm probably not getting the most perfectly efficient everything, but like they do a good job. So it's
Gabe,
like,
what if they listen to this? You poor guys, you poor local guys. You guys are doing a good job.
If you listen to this, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. That means a lot.
Your local SEO guy right now is going, what the? Thanks a lot, Gabe. Thanks for the shout out.
And you can reach them at no.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
No, it's great. But it's funny because I agree with you, but I was actually kind of encouraged that as much as I agree, I think it's kind of duh when you have more money that it's going to improve marketing. But I don't know, anything that takes away from the big guys, I'm kind of happy.
You're kind of good with. Okay, and now does this...
that makes me sound so terrible, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. So does this does this run counter to any of these other ones? So if you're thinking, yeah, there's going to be better service and customer retention, and there's going to be better career opportunities and employee retention, doesn't there have to be then better branding? Isn't that, I mean, doesn't that contribute to brand power? So then you're saying, according to the survey respondents, you're saying, okay, better customer service and customer retention, better employee retention, employee opportunities. Oh yeah, but the brand is much worse. I don't see these like working in a like rational construct here.
Yep. And you already say better customer service too, right? Based on that other one on the other page, because
Yeah.
So all those things: better customer service, better employee retention, better career opportunities, a bigger marketing budget, and then that one goes down.
It doesn't. Yeah. So then I start to wonder. Okay, were some of the questions phrased in an unusual way, or were some of the people that were responding to this thinking more emotionally? Were they responding like? I'm throwing out there ideas of like, okay, how do you put this together in one person's, response to have it sort of make sense? Are you looking at each one of these completely independently and not seeing how they're like interrelated?
Yeah.
I mean,
totally.
you'd have to if your responses were counter to each other like that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Well, and along with all those other things, that policies and procedures one, it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, why don't you read that one?
Okay, so it says, can merging with a larger pest management provider help an acquired business access and implement more proven processes and policies? So you went from, in 2017, you went from 54% yes, and then 2023 you went to 69% yes. So
almost 70% of people now. Yeah. Now this one I almost could see, like if I think of I don't know, the average pest control company, small independent pest control company, if they have a spot where they probably struggle, it's probably in policies and procedures and documented,
absolutely. Yep.
SOPs and stuff like that. That's probably an area where if you bring in, a larger operator, you're going to have employee handbooks and policy manuals and training manuals and things that like, hey, we do it this way, this way, this way. So I could kind of see that one.
Certainly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about, to go back to that career opportunities and retention one. Like we had discussed, you have simultaneously whoever this group of people say that 69% say that they think the service quality would be worse with a national brand. 69% say it would be worse. And then 66% say career opportunities and employee retention would go up. And my question that I wrote down after that is, what's the point of higher employee retention and career opportunities if your service quality goes down? What's the point of better policies, processes, and procedures if your service quality goes down? Does that make any sense?
So then are they better policies and procedures?
Yeah.
If they led to a decrease in service quality.
Yeah.
Then it's not an improved policy. It's just a documented policy. It's better documented. Hey, we can do this badly, but very well documented. we can tell exactly how we're doing this badly.
Yeah, precisely. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
We know exactly how it's supposed to look. Okay. Nobody's doing it that way, but
so you think that? Okay, I see what you're saying. So you're saying the policies are well documented. It's just the actual follow through, like what's actually happening, probably is not.
I'd think, because I think on paper, probably if you looked at a lot of the process, the SOPs of this stuff, you'd probably be like, yeah, it's pretty darn thorough. Like that seems like a good service.
Right.
But if there's a disconnect.
Yeah. So we actually, like you're saying on the career opportunities and retention one, I think that career opportunities is sort of needs to be looked at a little bit. So what I thought about the other night when I was ranting on this was, do you have better career opportunities at a big operator? So if you're one of 10,000 employees and you're a technician, what are your possibilities to moving up the ranks and being, a branch manager, and then moving up to corporate, or doing something, in entomology and, research or something like that? I don't think it's very good. I think your average rank and file technician is sort of stuck in that, and has a production bonus, and you need to work your route and work it great. And then it's going to be much more competitive to have opportunities to advance. Now, do you have like a higher ceiling in those organizations? Absolutely. But it's a higher ceiling for a very, very small number of people. Like,
Right.
You have, I don't remember, I don't have them right in front of me, but you look at any of the big, huge companies, and they have, 10,000 employees, and there's how many in the corporate offices, and how many are in upper, areas where they had career advancement. Not a large percentage of those 10,000. How many of them are technicians out in a truck? Probably 80, 90%.
Yep.
Something like that. So I feel like your ceiling might be lower, like you in a smaller company, but your opportunities, I think, are actually greater. Like, we have our people here, we're doing stuff in our urban entomology lab that is super cool. And we have people that would have no business having that opportunity to do that sort of stuff at a larger operation. They don't have an advanced degree. They don't have a PhD. They're not a BCE, that kind of thing. But here at a small operation, we can do a lot of stuff, and you can get your hands into things. I think that's one of the big, not advantages, but attractions to those smaller companies. You can have a bigger impact. Yeah, sure. You're a 8, 10, 20 person company. You can't be humongous, and you get all the way to the top of that, and it's not that high of a ladder, but it's not that high of a ladder, so you can climb it.
Yeah. And I think just from a job satisfaction standpoint, like, what's the point of having this huge ability to climb the corporate ladder and be treated like a number the whole time?
Yeah.
Literally from start to finish. Like, because probably, what are you going to make it to the top 20 people? You're going to be,
Right.
are you going to sit on the board? No. You're going to sit on, the next tier down? No. Next tier down? No. So you're a number.
Yeah.
Like, by and large, right? In these big corporations. Or you could go and you could sit next to the owner of this small business and be like, I'm your guy. I want to help you grow. I want to, help love your team, serve your customers. And you could be like the owner's right-hand man, not a number,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you then thinking that you should measure employee opportunities by the opportunity that they have to make an impact, and the satisfaction in your job of making an impact? Because I feel like for a lot of our people, that's where they get the most job satisfaction. I'm making an impact on the company every single day in a real tangible way, and I'm getting involved with things that you otherwise wouldn't. You would check in, check out, do your route, turn in your paperwork, go home, whatever. So I feel like there's just different opportunities.
Yes.
And in those smaller companies. So I don't know. No, I do know for a fact, if we were to tomorrow be like, okay, this big national brand, it now owns us, there would be massive attrition. Like, I don't know that we'd have a single person left, day one.
Yep.
And maybe I've hired badly, but we have excellent people, and I've had them tell me I would not work for anybody else or whatever like that. Like, they're going to be off the team, like right away.
Yeah.
And I don't think our people are unusual. I think when you look at those smaller operations.
Yeah, and even just the type of person who is going to tend to fit in a large corporate structure, as much as corporations tout they want problem solvers, they want the people who take initiative. By and large, they want people who are moderately good and will accept a moderately low wage industry wise and are okay with getting worked to death. Like that's,
Yeah.
Whereas in a smaller company, initiative, problem solving, going above and beyond is such a massive value. And I know it actually is at the larger companies too, but those type of people tend to make more waves.
Yeah. So would you say then that like the skill set and personality type of the employee that is very successful at a small company probably
Yes.
isn't the same skill set that you would need to be very successful at a big operation?
Yeah. Yeah, because they probably don't fit as well. Like they don't fit the cube, you know.
Yeah.
Great. Well,
Awesome.
I'll close us out here. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to Coast Pest Talk. As always, we love to hear comments. Reach out to us on LinkedIn. Post a comment in the YouTube video. Subscribe wherever you're listening to this. Subscribe to our YouTube, to our podcast on your favorite podcast catcher, and leave us a review as well.